Hi everybody. Well, I can't believe it. It's been nearly a year since I've managed to get back onto this project. It's just amazing how life can get so busy. So I've had this bike in storage and now I'm finally going to get back into it. So it's taken me a little while to familiarize myself with what I was last doing and where I was at with everything at that stage. So this is a ctx200 frame, forks, wheels, swing arm, seat, exhaust, guards, and plastics. I've also got shrouds to go around the tank as well. But what I've ended up doing is swapping out the C200 CTX 200cc engine and installing this 230. So it's like the CRF 230 engine. It's actually a flat track racer 230 engine. The frame of this bike is about a 2012, 2013. The engine goes back though to the late 90s. And I've pulled the engine apart, and some of you will see from previous videos I have refurbished the engine. Everything's good. But when I actually received the engine, it was in parts. It hadn't been assembled. And some of the parts down here in the clutch area had actually been lost. So I had to source new parts. And I've managed to do that. I have all the parts necessary for this bike. But I've had it running a couple of times, and there's been a bit of a metallic sound coming from the clutch area, and I put it down to the clutch basket assembly here was just touching the selector plate for the gearbox, for the gears. But I think I've overcome that now. I believe there was a need for some spacing. I put in about a 0.5 millimeter spacer behind the basket here just to pull it out a little bit because it wasn't grabbing on the selector plate, it was just nicking it as it went around. So I believe that's going to be okay now. But then another problem I felt I had at the time was I couldn't get the clutch to release. And I was concerned that the actual push on the clutch actuator wasn't going in deep enough onto the push rod here to actually release the pressure on the plates. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be playing around with little bits of blue tack and just getting a feel for how much movement there is behind the casing when I do like a mock reassembly of the casing to just check on that clutch pressure. Once I've got that sorted, I might need to put a little spacer in there. Once I've got that sorted, I think she's going to be all sorted. The electrics I had sorted out, and I've got an issue with this brake lever here, the back brake lever. Because this engine is slightly bigger than the old 200cc engine, the original brake pedal here is fouling up on this corner here of the crankcase. So what I'm going to have to do is apply a whole lot of heat onto the foot brake lever, pull it out about 90 degrees, and then set it back along this way again, just so that it actually comes clear of the crankcase housing. Once I've got that in place, I'm all good. My front end is all nicely done. I've got new caliper, I've got new pads, I've got new tyre. That's all good. Down on the rear end here, and also new wheel bearings in both the front and the rear wheels. New brake shoes on the rear here. And yeah, I think we're not too far off from being able to have a little bit of a test ride on this bike. So I'm really happy to be back into the project again. I've got a bit of leave at the moment, so it's just allowed me some time. Plus the weather here in Auckland has been absolutely terrible. Some of you may have seen it on the news. We've had some terrible flooding here in the city. And so we're just getting over that. Some people are still in that stage of getting their properties back to some sense of normal, which is a massive task because a lot of people lost everything. So our heart goes out to those people affected by the Auckland floods. And there has been flooding also on the Coromandel of the North Island as well. Some of you will know that area. I still haven't got around to putting my tyre on the rear of the CRF 230F either. I'll get onto that. Maybe I'll get that done in the next few days as well. Pulled the XR250R out of storage. Fired up into life, no problem. This bike is an absolute beast of a bike. Love it to bits. But anyway, at the moment I want to concentrate on getting the little CTX organised. It's quite, because this is actually in New Zealand a farm bike frame, it's quite a low ride position compared to something like the XR, where you've got to really step up, throw your leg over this thing. This thing's high. I'm 5'10", I'm about 5'10", and I find it quite high. Once I'm on it, it's good as gold. This bike here is very easy to get off and on. It's quite low down. So that's where I'm at today. It's a bit of a wet old day, so I'm just going to potter away here in my workshop and get this bike a little bit further assembled, and I'll put a video together once I manage to sort out that clearance issue and have the engine running nice and quietly. So thank you very much for viewing this video. I know a lot of you have been asking about my motorbike situation, so there are the four bikes all in their glory. Hondas, of course. Yeah, so there we go. And I wish to also thank my new subscribers to my small channel. Really do appreciate your support to my channel, and I hope that I can bring you content that's going to be interesting for you all. Catch you in the next one. Bye.